The legends warned of a human buried beneath the mountains. A relic, a weapon, a ghost from an ancient war. No one believed she would return to wake him. Not until her people were burning. And the last words she whispered were, "Wake up, they found us." The cave hadn't changed in 250 years. Damp, cold, silent, tucked behind a waterfall that never dried, in a mountain range long forgotten by maps. Moss coated the entrance like a curtain of secrecy, and inside, in the very heart of stone, was a sarcophagus not of this world, and beside it stood her. Sahari pressed her trembling hand to the slab's surface, her violet eyes wide, glowing softly in the dim biolight of her armor. The scars across her face were fresh, her breathing ragged. "Please," she whispered, her voice cracking. "You said if I needed you to come back. I did. I'm here. Nothing happened." She slammed her fist against the smooth alloy. "Wake up. They found us." The air inside the cave changed. Just slightly. A faint hiss. A soft glow from the seams of the sarcophagus. Then a slow, deliberate click as the slab slid aside with a hiss of pressurized air. She stepped back, gasping. Inside lay the one she had hidden all those years ago. Armor blackened and battered by time, but intact. Hair short, skin pale. And then his eyes opened. Fierce, blue, human. Sahari. His voice was deep, calm, hoarse from long stasis. "You're awake," she breathed, tears streaming down her cheeks. He sat up slowly, bones cracking, muscles recalibrating. His hand rested on the hilt of a long, strange blade beside him. "What year is it?" he asked. "Cycle 917. You've been gone for 2.5 centuries. He exhaled slowly. "Then they're back." "Yes." She nodded. "And we're losing. I need you. The galaxy needs you." He looked at her for a moment. "Where's my war suit?" His name was Commander Cade Wren, once a terror of the old wars, before Earth fell silent, before the alliances broke. The humans had disappeared, retreating behind the veil of dead space, leaving behind myths, scorched planets, and rumors of sleeping titans. Sahari had been young when she found him, bleeding out beside his crashed ship. She had disobeyed orders, hidden him in this cave, and sworn she'd never return, unless there was no other hope. Now, cities burned. The Oral Dominion had returned, glassing settlements, enslaving species, and declaring themselves the rightful rulers of the sector. And Sahari? She was one of the last of the resistance. Cade stood outside the cave now, armored up in a fusion of ancient human design and updates she had smuggled in over the years. He tested the weight of his blade, still sharp, still deadly. "You said they're hunting you?" he asked. "They're scanning for my signature," she replied. "I used restricted teleport tech. They'll be here in minutes." Cade turned to her, eyes narrowed. "Then let's give them a welcome." The Dominion dropship screamed over the trees, engines burning orange as it hovered above the ravine. Troopers poured out, armored and armed. They laughed. Her signals coming from a cave? This is where she ran. The commander stepped forward, motioning. "Smoke her out." They didn't see him standing on the ridge until it was too late. Cade dropped into their formation like a meteor. The first trooper didn't even scream before the blades split him in half. The second got off a shot that ricocheted harmlessly off Cade's shoulder. Then everything turned to chaos. The Dominion had no memory of what a human warborn could do. No video, no archive, only fear in the dark. Now they saw. Cade moved like a storm, blade cleaving, armor absorbing, movements precise and brutal. The last trooper tried to run. Cade hurled a short blade between his shoulder blades. Silence returned to the forest. Sahari emerged from the trees, staring at the carnage. You remembered how to fight." Cade shook blood off his blade. "I never forgot." They didn't stop moving. Over the next few days, Sahari guided him through smuggler paths and broken cities. They saw burning skies, heard screams on distant frequencies, and passed by mountains of rubble where cities once stood. And everywhere they went, word spread. A human walks again, and with him, the tide might turn. By the fourth day, other resistance members had found them. At first, they didn't believe it. They treated Cade like a ghost. Until they saw him fight. Until they saw what he could do. He wasn't just a relic. He was an apex predator, awake in a galaxy that had grown soft. Sahari sat with him by a fire that night, staring at the stars. "I didn't think you'd come back," she admitted. "You risked everything to save me," he said. I made a promise. You were just a soldier. No, he looked at her. I was the last. And now I'm the first again. She smiled softly. We've missed you. I missed me too. 3 weeks later, the resistance launched its first counteroffensive in decades. At its head, not a general, not an alien warlord, but a human wearing ancient armor. He led the charge into the Dominion stronghold on Vendros Prime. With Sahari by his side, he cut a path through command ranks, freeing thousands. The Dominion fled that world. The people began to chant his name. They began to believe, not in a legend, but in a warrior they could follow. Months passed, and in a ceremony held beneath the twin moons of Arca, Sahari stood beside him as fleets from across the galaxy gathered. The war was far from over, but the tide had shifted, because she had returned to the cave, because she had shaken him awake, because he had kept his promise.